Ceci, Richie. Go on my thing there. Hello. Go on my YouTube page. Go on it on your phone. I'm live. Send a message. Wait, it does lag because then after they can come. Yeah, it's normal, but do you hear it? Yeah, kind of light. I think I have to raise up the volume. Wait. Ah, ah. No, yes, better. Rich. Okay, wait. Yeah, I'm gonna put something to Rich. Wait.
Welcome to Hitport, all-in-one media solution center. We offer video converter, editor, watermark remover, voice changer, etc. Empowered with the newest AI tech. Let us record, create, enjoy, share.
But it's playing normal. Now I'm gonna talk in between it, see how it goes.
Aprovechar Hiba Promos Pineapple of Grape Flavored Spread, pagando
Hello,
6,79
hello,
per
hello,
week
hello,
na
hello, hello,
Seamarts.
hello, 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 hello.
Rules, 3 20-minute periods, it's 5 on 5 plus goalies. Hit the puck with your stick and get it into the opposing team's net. But hockey's
Damn,
fast, and there's just so much going on that it can get tough to keep up with
Testing, we
everything else
testing
that you're
this, see if
watching.
it's working.
In this video, I just want to give more context to any
Testing
new
to see.
fans and explain everything that you see when you first tune in to a hockey game. First, we'll go over the arena,
Hello,
then we'll talk about
testing.
the personnel running the game, and finally, we'll go over the composition of a hockey team. My name is Matt, and this is Hockey Visually Explained. Welcome to Benchworm. We make videos that help people understand sports because we believe enjoying sports brings communities together. Every NHL team plays in an indoor building. Some call them arenas, some call them centers or places. There's a couple of gardens and one saddle dome. For the purpose of our videos, we'll be calling them arenas. The most historic and we all know the basic rules, 3 20-minute periods, it's 5 on 5 plus goalies. Hit the puck with your stick and get it into the opposing team's net. But hockey's fast, and there's just so much going on that it can get tough to keep up with everything else that you're watching. In this video, I just want to give more context to any new fans and explain everything that you see when you first tune in to a hockey game. First, we'll go over the arena, then we'll talk about the personnel running the game, and finally, we'll go over the composition of a hockey team. My name is Matt, and this is Hockey Visually Explained. Welcome to Benchworm. We make videos that help people understand sports because we believe enjoying sports brings communities together. Every NHL team plays in an indoor building. Some call them arenas, some call them centers or places. There's a couple of gardens and one saddle dome. For the purpose of our
Okay, so it's only, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 stadium have, or 11 dome. Is there anyone like Santiago Bernabeu?
videos, we'll be calling them arenas.
You know, Terry?
The most historic and arguably
Yes.
most well-known one is Madison Square Garden, home to the New York Rangers. It opened in 1968. Now let's take a look inside an arena. First you have the ice, a roughly 3/4 inch slab of ice that is our playing surface. Surrounding the ice are the boards, and attached to the boards are plexiglass panels to keep you safe from flying pucks. Holding the panels together are stanchions. These are worth mentioning because there have been some crazy bounces off stanchions in hockey's history. Now just behind the boards are the team's benches. Each team gets a side, and there's a small buffer in between them. You'll see a lot of players hop over these boards to get onto the ice, but they also do have doors that open and close. Directly across, on the other side of the rink, you have 3 sections. There are 2 penalty boxes, one for each team. That's where the players have to wait and serve out their time when they commit an infraction. And in between the penalty boxes is the scorekeeper's bench.
So how much time every penalty is? 5 minutes? 1 minute? Or how many penalties can you get in one game? Do you get red card like soccer?
Finally, you have the 2 nets. A goalie net has 2 posts and a crossbar. Sometimes you'll hear the term bar down. That means the player has scored a goal by ricocheting the puck off of the crossbar and down into the net. Now let's look at the lines on the ice. Let's start off right in the middle. This is the center red line, and right in the middle is the center circle and center ice face-off spot. This is where the game always starts, with a face-off at center ice. To the left and right of the red line, equal distances apart, are the blue lines. The blue lines form what is referred to as the neutral zone. And within the neutral zone are 4 more face-off dots, referred to as neutral zone face-off spots. Now to go over the rest of the lines, we have to put you in the shoes of a player. Let's say you're Team Canada and you're playing against, say, Team Sweden. Your goalie is over here and theirs is here. This would be your attacking zone, and this would be your defending zone. Both are identical, but this terminology is important to know for when you're watching games. When a player is trying to score, they are on the offensive, and when a player is in this zone trying to prevent another team from scoring, they are playing defense.
So all the players can move on one side? Or only attacking players? I didn't even know it had attacking players in hockey. Every time when I see it, I thought everybody can go score a goal or everybody can go on attack. Everybody can be on one side of the field. What do you call that? A field or a ice ring? What the heck this thing called?
Each of these zones has 2 more face-off circles, face-off spots, a goal line, and the goalie's crease. In 2005, in an effort to create more offensive opportunities, the NHL added 2 more red lines in each zone to form a trapezoid-shaped area behind the net. Previously, the goalie could roam anywhere they wanted behind the net and help their team out defensively. With the new lines, the goalies are now limited to playing the puck within the trapezoid shape.
But why? Why they change that? And why would the goalie go behind the goal? That puck does be moving so fast. If you're behind the goal, the other team is gonna score easy, I think. Because it's gonna be, by the time he reach back to the goalie, they're gonna score, right? Why they restrict him now? For only a small. Anyways, let me keep hearing.
And last but not least is the referee's circle. While it doesn't affect play at all, this is the area where the referees congregate. Now let's talk about personnel. It's easy to spot the players, but who is everyone else that you can see?
Damn, how many players is in one team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14? That's a lot of players though. And how much can be on the ice skate ring, whatever it called? 6, 5.
While each arena's personnel may vary, the IIHF Off-Ice Officials Handbook states that the scorekeeper's bench is meant for the scorekeeper, 2 scorekeeper assistants, the timekeeper, and the announcer. And right beside, each penalty box has a penalty box attendant, whose main role is to keep track of all the penalty times and usher the players in and out. And of course, you have the on-ice officials comprised of 2 referees and 2 linesmen.
2 referees. So one each side. And does it have offside in hockey? Why do you have linesmen? I never knew had offside in hockey.
Now, let's talk about the hockey teams. Let's start with looking at the composition of a roster. Each team dresses 20 players per game. You have 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. The forwards are comprised of 4 centers, 4 left wings, and 4 right wings. The forwards form lines known as the first, second, third, and fourth lines, with each line having a center, a left wing, and a right wing. The first line is normally the team's best scoring line, while the fourth line is usually used more in a defensive capacity. You might also hear the term top 6 forward. This means that the player has the offensive skills that make them a number 1 or number 2 line player. You might also hear the term top 9, which refers to the top 3 lines, or the term bottom 6, which refers to the bottom 2 lines.
So the first is the stars, the best players in the team. The second is the kind of gold players. And the third and fourth is the trashiest players in the team, or what?
Line mates practice together and for the most part stick together in games. This is an important concept to understand, as great lines in hockey are often discussed and even get nicknames. Some of the best names for lines in hockey's history include the West Coast Express, featuring Marcus Naslund, Todd Bertuzzi, and Brendan Morrison, the Legion of Doom, featuring Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, and Michael Renberg, and the Production Line, featuring Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, and Ted Lindsay.
We warmly welcome you
Man,
to
these
visit
damn
one of
ads.
the 2 new Little Europe stores located in the
Y'all need
Hyatt
some better
Regency
nicknames, so
Peru
I ain't gonna lie.
Resort.
Them nicknames,
Little
them,
Europe is the jewelry store that offers
I ain't
an
feeling them.
extensive collection.
Defensemen are split up into groups of 2 into what are called defensive pairings or pairs. So you'll notice there are 3 groups of defensemen and 4 groups of
Wait a minute.
forwards. This
Alright, let's keep up with this. I'm still kind of lost with these players.
This is why when you look at a timesheet of a game, defensemen usually have more play time than the forwards. And lastly, there are 2 goaltenders, a starting goalie and a backup goalie. The starting goalie will play the entire game, with the backup available in case of injury or in case the starting goalie is just not having a good day. During the course of a season, these players will split the games, usually with one goalie playing more games than the other. The exact number of games, however, varies by team, with some backups only playing a dozen or so games and some others hitting the 30 mark. Some teams even split the duty almost evenly when they aren't sure who their starters should be. Alright, let's get to the ice. During a game, you'll have 6 players on ice per team at a time. You'll have the starting goaltender, 1 line of forwards, and 1 defensive pair. That leaves the backup goalie, as we mentioned, but there's also 3 lines and 2 defensive pairs left on the bench, waiting for their time to get on.
Oh, so we have 6 players at once on the field. How many minutes every player plays? Or is the coach decide when to swap, to change a player?
Unlike a sport like soccer or basketball, player changes happen frequently, with players rotating on and off the ice every minute. And lastly, on each bench are the head coach, assistant coaches, and support staff.
every minute. Damn, they just be changing, swapping them so fast. Is skating harder than running? I don't know. I never skate before, but skating in that level, I think you must be getting exhausted or something. But swapping every minute.
That can include trainers, equipment managers, and more. There's a lot more people that make the game, like the Zamboni driver, and the people that clean the ice during commercial breaks, and the mascots, and of course the crowd.
You have to clean the ice also. When have commercial breaks, what? The fans throw things on the ice, or what happened with the ice? I wonder if the players then just spit on the ice. Do they spit on the ice? 'Cause that would be nasty. In soccer, I know they spit on the grass, but yeah, that's something else. But on the ice, imagine them NBA players them spitting on the court. How nasty that would be.
We could go on forever, but we hope this gives you a great starting point to start understanding hockey and even help you with watching your first game. Thanks for watching. We are Benchworm, teaching you sports from the bench.
Let's check out another video, because this video I'm still kinda clueless. I should check about fighting in hockey. Let me check this out.
Hey there, Twisters, and welcome everyone. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 similarities and differences to other sports that you might watch, right? Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, so on and so forth. Hockey plays a little bit differently, but it has some similarities with other sports as well. But the thing is that you don't want to watch a hockey game and be thinking about why things aren't occurring the way that they would in a professional soccer match.
Exactly. When I'm watching hockey, well, once in a while I'm changing the TV and hockey is on. I watch it for a couple of minutes, especially in the playoff, but I really don't know what the heck is going on. I just see people going up and down, up and down. I thought everybody with a stick just have to try get the pot in the goal. No tactics, no game plan. That's what I thought. I didn't know they had a strategy. I thought it looked like everybody playing for crazy. But hey, I don't know nothing about hockey.
Or an NBA game or something like that, right? So for example, in basketball, when there's a foul when the player is in the act of shooting, then that player goes to the free throw line and has an opportunity to score points, and they have, maybe a 75 or 80% chance of making that free throw, right? Whereas in hockey, the player that commits the foul has to actually sit in the penalty box for 2 minutes, and it's 5-on-4, but there's maybe a 20 or 25% chance that the team on the power play.
So you get 2 minutes when you commit a foul. Can you get more than that? Or 2 minutes is the max? What about when they fight? Because these men, them love fighting in hockey.
Is going to score a goal. So things do function a little bit differently there. And for those of you who watch soccer or football, as it's called in other parts of the world,
football it's called. It's called football.
More difficult to manufacture quality chances. And with hockey, you have a lot more shots that the goaltender has to save. You have maybe 30 per game. Not to mention with soccer, the clock runs continuously. There are no actual stoppages and there's stoppage time. Whereas with hockey, there are many, many pauses throughout the game just for a little bit of time each time, because the puck might be out of play or there might be some sort of infraction committed. So for tip number 2, this to me is the number one reason why somebody might not watch hockey. It's difficult to track the puck, so use clues to track the puck, because this thing is about the size
really
of a
difficult
drink coaster, and it can move as fast as 100 miles per hour. So really look for body language. The puck carrier is going to be the one who's drawing the most attention, so watch how players converge during play. Look for how players angle their bodies and how they shift their momentum, right? That's going to really signify how the flow of play is going. Also, the camera is going to always kind of center itself on the core action. And I really like this comment from Eustace in our community. He says, you don't necessarily follow the puck, but rather where it's going. Basically meaning learning to anticipate and interpret puck and player movement. Now that's easier said than done, but the more you watch hockey, you're going to start to recognize patterns. You'll start to identify the best passing opportunity for a player with the puck. You'll start to notice kind of like how the puck is going to carom and ricochet at times as well. And so then that way you already can kind of see a couple seconds ahead versus what is happening in that moment. And
Nah, that thing's still hard to keep up with the pot. That thing does be moving so fast. Well, watching it on TV, it does be so fast, like you don't know where the pot is. Especially when they shoot that thing in the goalie. I think maybe it's different when you're watching it personal. It must be different or more excited. But watching that thing on TV, nah, it's hard to keep up.
that I think will definitely help you and not be driven nuts by how fast this game can actually move. So for tips number 3 and 4, there is some overlap here, but for tip number 3, don't just watch the player with the puck, observe hockey at a macro level. So be able to watch it from a bird's eye view, and then that way you can find something interesting and then hone in on that specifically. So with hockey, there's a lot of play that's happening not just around the puck. Players are constantly shifting their momentum. They're going to other areas of the ice, and hopefully there's a passing lane, so then that way they create an advantage offensively.
Look, they're about
or
to fight.
maybe a
They're gonna
goaltender,
fight.
right? They are always shifting their position.
What happens if a player hit a referee? Do the referee them also fight? I never see that though. Nah, I don't think you can fight the referee. They gonna kick you. They must kick your ass out.
Position and react